Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot and another, as if the Constitution matters anymore. FDA attacking the First Amendment. Is the Constitution going up in vapor, according to SHTFplan.com? According to the Pacific Legal Foundation, it almost certainly is. Literally. According to the PLF, they filed a lawsuit against the unconstitutional FDA over what is being promoted as a healthy alternative to smoking. It's a product that's been sweeping the nation now for years called vaping. And part of the claim is that the FDA devised a rule against vaping that appears to clearly attack the First Amendment by regulating what can be said about a product, even if those claims are true. Now, according to the PLF, it says electronic nicotine delivery systems, vaping devices, and e-cigarettes first hit the U.S. stores in 2007. Didn't take long for it to jump to a $5 billion domestic industry. Now, in 2016, because of this, just like we're seeing right now with the FDA bringing about draconian rules about homeopathic stuff, right? So it's the same thing. If they're not regulating it, they want to regulate it, and they're gonna. They can't help it. It says in 2016, just as a burgeoning vaping industry was getting off the ground, the FDA stepped in with a rule that deems e-cigarettes as tobacco products and brand new severe regulations that only harm the industry and perhaps overall public health, contrary to the agency's very mission. You wonder if this isn't in collusion with the states, because if you notice, the states jacked up the price of cigarettes big time. And I think they expected people to continue to buy them at $10 a pack, and then expected people to, fund tax-funded endeavors and everything funded by cigarettes. It just never happened, because at the same time they started that endeavor, the vaping industry sprung up and totally foiled their plan. So then they probably cried to the FDA, e-cigs, they're taking all our money. Because they're interested in the health, right? But they're not. But they are. But they're not. See, this is, again, another example of what happens when money gets in the way. And so they're pissed. They're losing out on $10 a pack of cigarettes because, $9 of it's tax. And they're mad about that. So they go and they say, FDA, you got to step in. FDA steps in and says, okay, now it's a tobacco product. There's no tobacco in it. It's unbelievable. How in the world is a product that produces water vapor a tobacco product? And on what planet, anywhere, does this fly? The same one that's the same communists that tell us that we're in the midst of global warming, overpopulation, and we need a nanny state to tell us what to eat and drink. Yeah, they want to do away with like hamburgers and stuff like that because too many cow farts. Yeah, this is the mentality that we're at. People like Tesla right now are rolling over in their grave because there's just, what happened? What's going on? We're going to be like that movie WALL-E, the Disney movie WALL-E, where human race, that we get so lazy that we can't even walk anymore. We go on anti-grav day beds everywhere because we're just too fat and lazy. This is what? It's unconstitutional, it says, because only Congress has the legislative authority under our Constitution. Our Constitution doesn't even mention an FDA. It doesn't. Now, the case is taking place, the U.S. District Court for North District of Texas. And it's a case that should be closely followed, because if this is allowed to happen and continue, we're going to continue to see a lot of smoking still, which, you could smoke if you want, knock yourself out. But if you can't see that this is a collusion between actually three industries, Big Pharma, because Big Pharma loves to push like Chantix and nicotine patches. And then you've got the state that wants to sell cigarettes at $10 a pack. So they want that tax stamp, right? And then the FDA, who goes ahead and does this rule. Now, the PLF is representing Juicy Vapes owned by Denisa Moore and her husband, Larry Moore. Denisa used to smoke 2 packs a day. She tried to quit using all of those other types, but she wasn't successful. So she turned to vaping and quit smoking after a year. And it worked so well that she actually founded a vape store with her husband. Imagine that. In the U.S. District Court of Minnesota, there are 5 clients being represented by the PLF. And even in the District of Columbia, there are 4 businesses in 3 states being represented. I mean, this is unbelievable how there's such a fight against vapors and vaping. Because think about it. Why would they? There's no money in cures. Remember, we've always talked about that. No money in cures. Yeah. You go ahead, you say, well, we want people to get healthier, so we're going to charge a lot for cigarettes to deter smoking and to pay for public health efforts. But then, it actually starts working, right? There's an alternative out there. Plus, you've raised the price of cigarettes, so people don't want to smoke. And then you take one of the most viable alternatives to get them off tobacco out the door. Are you kidding me? It's unbelievable, folks. So check this out, shtfplan.com. Unbelievable story. And yet again, more government intrusion and more government overreach because, by God, you can't do research for yourself. The government must tell you that it's okay. Unbelievable. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. #WakeTheFlock Up. Have a great day, everybody.